was your first impression?
Frankly, I was impressed and I was challenged. Yes, I was. Like, there are people who care for the climate this much that they would put aside their job, put aside their lives for a couple of months to stand for something they believe in and to do it for the entire planet, not just for them. A painful truth, ideas are cheap. Yeah, ideas are free. And I personally believe that if you get an idea, then God or the universe, whatever you'd like to call it, gives that same idea to another 10,000 people. And the idea is going to happen with or without you.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Life as a Young Activist podcast, Cycles for Hope mini-series. In this series, we're pedaling for justice to COP30 and we're exploring the stories behind this amazing campaign for Cycles for Hope. In the previous episodes, we brought in the core team and got to understand their part of the story and their contribution in this amazing campaign. Today, we are joined by one of the most influential and transformative people behind this campaign, the CEO of Ebikes Africa, Jorgs Mbugua.
Thank you for having me, Bay.
Welcome to the Life as a Young Activist. This is amazing. Tell us about you. Who is Jorgs?
So, Jorgs is a lover of humanity. Jorgs is a problem solver, and Jorgs is a young climate activist.
A young climate activist.
Yeah.
Right. That is amazing. You've just captured, some really cool words there, and it says a lot. Right? There is a mantra that you go by. Mm-hmm. Let's begin with that first. You say creating value for as many people as it ever exists.
Yeah.
Maybe what does this mean in your everyday work and vision?
So, again, coming from love for humanity, I think that people deserve a right to choice. People deserve dignity. And I think giving people dignity is giving them value. So giving them better education, better healthcare, better opportunities is all that I'm for. So when I say I want to create value for people throughout time, this is what I mean. I want to give people access to opportunities. And I believe in the infinite. I believe that the actions we take have a resounding effect regardless of time. And I want to impact people in a way that it doesn't matter what your past looked like. Your future is going to be much better.
Amazing. And you've embodied that very, very nicely, right?
Thank
and we are aware that you are the CEO of Ebikes Africa. And Ebikes Africa has done a great work in sustainable mobility. Maybe you tell us about Ebikes and how you came into it. And now you're embodying your mantra through Ebikes.
So Ebikes Africa is a Kenyan e-mobility company that helps in the distribution of electric two-wheelers.
Yeah.
And we do this using fleet management systems and artificial intelligence.
Wow.
So we started in 2022, initially as an idea, and we officially started the company in 2023. And it came from my own personal experience where transport was extremely expensive and it took so long for me to get where I was going. So I was looking for a solution for me, something lightweight, something affordable, something that doesn't need third-party charging stations and should be able to fit in the house. An electric bicycle ticked all of these boxes. So from 2018 to 2022, I looked for one for me. And when I finally did find one, I thought that we need a homegrown solution to this. And I later went down a rabbit hole and I found out that a lot of people face the same problem I do. In Africa, 96% of people do not own cars. And in Kenya, only 2% of people drive to work. So it's a worrying statistic. And I thought that it's about time we give people, again, access to opportunities through transport and sustainable transport.
Wow, you talk about the great tech behind it. Could you maybe give us a little bit of a technical part of the electric bicycles that you provide.
So we've built an electric bicycle, our first. It's called the Adventurer.
The Adventurer.
Yeah. So far, we've built about 700 pieces.
Wow.
And we have around 250 on Kenyan roads. It's a Kenyan designed bike. It has a top speed of 45 kilometers per hour, although we cap it at 35. It has a throttle. You can sit on it and go like a motorbike. It also has pedal assist. So any energy you put in, it pushes you 10 times. The bike has a very large battery, the largest commercial battery in Kenya. It's a 48-volt battery by 13 amp hours. And that can give you around, if it's a very hilly terrain, 60 kilometers. And if it's a flat terrain, 110. So we see averages of around 80 kilometers range.
Wow.
And it covers this range using only half a unit of electricity. So this is equivalent to 15 Kenya shillings. Actually, even 12 shillings in some areas of Nairobi. So 15 shillings gets you from town to Junction Mall 10 times. You can charge it at any socket. The battery weighs only 4 kgs. And the bike is very light. It's around 23 kgs. So you can go with it into an elevator. You can hang it up with your clothes. It fits in all the right places. So it's an amazing bike. And when we were building it, we were thinking a lot of the parcels in Nairobi are around 85% of parcels delivered in Nairobi are below 5 kgs.
Yeah.
So there's no reason you order a burger and fries and it's delivered on a 100 kilo motorbike. So this bike is extremely efficient and it's as effective as motorbikes in urban areas. Yeah.
Wow. I'm going to ask you about the future of this later on, but maybe we could tell us more about, we've seen it changing the landscapes of the African cities, especially Nairobi, and not just in terms of transport, but also economy, health, and climate. Like, how do you see e-bikes changing that?
So we have a huge transport problem in Africa in general. So using a comparison with America, for example, in America, 85% of people own cars. So transport is basically a right. You have the dignity to choose where you want to be, when. Here, contrast, only 2% of people drive to work. 2%. Around 73% walk. So during rush hour, I know you see all of those people, the crowds. All these people are walking home. And this means that this person can't find opportunities outside of a 20-kilometer radius. And that's their entire life. They go from home to work, work to home, and they do that for a year. And then they go for holiday. And, $100 will last you maybe 2 or 3 days. In Europe, with €100 or dollars, you can go to multiple countries. You go outside on the street and every 15 minutes there's a bus passing. Whether you choose to pay for fare or not is your choice. So we have a population that is extremely talented, well exposed and educated, but they're just stuck in the same cycles of poverty. They can't access education outside of their normal route, and they can't access healthcare, new jobs outside of their day-to-day route. So we see transport as a big multiplier in Africa. Transport gives people the chance to grow, to access new markets, and to live a more dignified life. And we are banking on giving people more access, really. So in terms of electric bikes, they are extremely affordable to operate. They're sustainable.
Sure.
And the technology has gotten really good, actually much better than ICE vehicles, in my opinion. So I think there's a huge potential here for Africa to take the lead globally, because there's also the most people who really need it.
Yeah.
And when you really think about these electric vehicles, they are a battery on wheels, if you really think about it.
Battery on wheels.
It's a battery on wheels. So you can charge your laptop, you can charge your phone, you can connect it to a solar panel.
Wow.
So an example is right now we're building an agricultural trike. And the trike is made of foldable solar panels that form a canopy above the rider. So a farmer can take this trike to the farm. He can carry his farm produce to the market. He can connect a fridge to it. And in the evening when he goes home, he can plug his house into the bike. So really, it's mobile power.
It's mobile power.
Yes. And a lot of people in Africa need access to power.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like the part that you brought it into. You brought the local context into this.
Yeah.
Because most of the time, technology or innovation is far-fetched and not always connected to the local communities.
Yeah.
Right. It's really beautiful. Maybe you could tell us how the evolution of e-bikes from how the idea was conceived. Maybe you had a few features in mind. How has it evolved ever since? What are the new innovations that you've actually discovered and integrated?
So, again, it started from a personal problem.
Personal problem, yes.
And when we began, we built the bike and we thought, these will be flying off the shelf. People need transport and it's going to be daisies and roses all through. It actually took us over a year and 9 months to sell the first bike.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why wasn't it on the market already?
So
I mean, it was so cool. It's something that if just an investor saw it, like, hey, we're bringing this to the market. Why wasn't it?
Right?
Yeah.
So there's a huge perception problem in Africa where people equate bicycles to poverty. Yes. So we had to do a lot of education. We went to so many places and talked to thousands of people. And we kept answering that same question. Bicycle, 100K. So a year and 9 months later, some guy walked into the shop and they bought a bike, some lady actually. I'm truly grateful. And ever since, we've seen more and more delivery riders buying a bike. And this has also, since they get the most immediate return on investment from their purchase. But since then, we've seen uptake increase. And right now we're at a point where this year we've sold we put over 100 bikes on the road in less than a year, in like 3 or 4, 5 months. So we started by just selling bikes. We then pivoted into delivery as well. We had a lot of riders come to us and they would look for financing to get these bikes. But when we took them to the microfinance institution, they'd be told, give us a 3-year bank statement. Tell us where your mom lives and your uncle. Give us a work contract.
Yeah.
And after all of this, they'll be told you took a 500 shilling loan in 2018 and we're not going to give you this, this credit. And for the very few, 2% who did get the credit, they would be given interest rates of around 60%. Yeah. Wow. Actually, the cheapest we saw was 40% per annum.
Yeah.
I know. And you're given 2-year contracts. So it's a very tough environment to find loans for. And a lot of the young guys operate on mobile money and cash. So young people are not in the formal financial sector. So after noticing all of these problems, we then started building technology to support more and more people to be able to get our bikes and to use them productively and in a way where they can pay off for the bike, they can earn an income, and they can become micro-entrepreneurs in their own right. So now we sell bikes, we have a delivery service, and we also do technology that helps other people put electric bikes on the road.
Wow. I like the way you brought in young people into this. I was going to come to that question earlier. Maybe you could describe just story of one young person who has been transformed by e-bike.
Wow.
I know there are many.
Yeah. There are very many. Right now, we provide work for over 60 people all over Nairobi. And we have partners in Mombasa, in town, in Karen, in Kisumu, in Narok, in Nakuru. So we're extremely grateful for that opportunity to be able to grow with people and build those relationships. When it comes to one person I can think of, I actually have two.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I have two people, and they happen to be the same people who are going to COP30.
Wow.
So,
right.
Even 3 or 4. But yeah, there's so many inspiring stories. So there's these two guys. One's called Enoch, and the other's called Hashu. And
you know Enoch and Ashu. If you followed us this far, you definitely know who they are.
Yeah. So Enoch and Hashu, we met at a sustainability event, and I was talking about green jobs for youth. And as it happened, they told me about this amazing journey that they had been trying to do for so many years, and they thought that, you know, this is a year where it could finally happen. And these guys had been trying to cycle to the United Nations Climate Conference from 2018.
It's been a long time.
Yeah. So every year they tried and they failed. They think they tried a total of 4 times.
Yeah.
So the whole point was to promote the use of cycling as a mode of transport, and also as a form of activism at the United Nations, to show that there are climate stories coming from Africa and there are young people who care. So I thought it was an extremely inspiring attempt. Initiative. And these guys were learned, experienced, amazing human beings who just didn't have the opportunity to find work and to get this project off of the ground.
Sure.
So we started working together. We gave them a chance. They came to work at Ebikes. Enoch is an electric engineer. Hashu is a marketer, and they're both avid cyclists. So they came to work at Ebikes as technicians, and they've grown their skills. They've provided so much impact. They've worked with us from when we had, I think, around 10 or 15 riders to now where we have around 50. And they have been extremely diligent, hardworking, honest, and amazing people. And they've provided a really good platform for more and more youth to come and work there.
Wow.
There's also other people I'd like to shout out just because they do an amazing job.
Please do.
So we have Vincent, who's also one of our technicians. He's also did electrical. Amazing human being. And we have all our riders who do an amazing job. And in our team, we're a full-time team of around 15 people. And around 8 of them are ladies by natural selection. And they all do an amazing job. And everyone who's helped us along the journey has been amazing. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. Because when you're looking at Africa, there's a mantra that's actually coming from, inspired by the Great American Mantras again, that says, "Let's make Africa great again." Right. So, and understanding such initiatives, especially looking at the climate angle of things and bringing innovation into that part, is really important. And empowerment as well. It's really beautiful. Thank you very much for sharing that story. And we can't wait to see the greater impact that you're going to make with the youth. Maybe you could point out a few things, because you had the notable awards and accolades, acknowledged across Africa. Maybe you could tell us about that.
So, awards are great. For me, I think they are great, and I'm super grateful to all of the people who have awarded us for the work we do. We've gotten awards from the Ministry of ICT, from the Connected Africa Summit, from the e-commerce. We've won the e-commerce awards. We've won so many awards, but the real award is the reason why we won those awards. So the people that we have impacted, the amount of CO2 that we have prevented, and the jobs that we have created. So that's really the true award.
Sure. Maybe we could talk a little bit about mobility as a climate justice as well. I know we've talked so much about e-bikes now and also talking about that, but maybe how does green mobility, how does it link to the broader conversation of climate justice and sustainable development? You've mentioned the community perspective and also the empowerment. Is there any other part you could point out?
Yes. So when you go to the coast in Kenya, for example, there's a lot of fishermen, most of them, who, when they leave their house, there's a path right at his door. And that path is a straight path from his house to the ocean. And this person goes into the sea. He's there for 8 hours. And when they come out, they're extremely exhausted. And the market is a couple of kilometers away. And they can't go there because either they're late or they don't have the transport. So a lot of these fishermen, with their fish, then take the same path back home. And they sell their fish along the way at peanuts. And they don't have access to markets, and they don't have access to things outside of that path. Mm-hmm. So these people, in my opinion, still deserve that right to be able to grow. And in Africa, we are endowed with a lot of sun. We're also endowed with people who love the climate and people who love the planet.
True.
So I think that we can use this opportunity to take advantage of technologies like solar, to take advantage of, you can use solar for cold storage. You can use it for so many things. And I think that we have the people who care. And also this is one of the reasons we're doing the COP30 ride.
Yeah, true.
So the whole point of the COP30 ride is to show that there are people in Africa who care. And as much as the finances aren't there, people in their communities are still trying to come up with solutions. And they're doing amazing jobs at using the tools that they have. So we want to show these stories on our journey. We're going through 7 African countries. And that's the whole point, to show that the solutions from the global south, and that these solutions, if you can get it right in Africa, you can get it right anywhere. Because against all odds, people are still able to still care and still do something and use whatever they have. So this journey will help highlight a lot of these solutions. Yeah.
Wow. I like the way you said, if you can get it right enough, you can get it right anywhere.
Yeah.
That is a really great perspective. Now coming to the conversation of Cycle to COP30, Cycles for Hope. You've told us how you met Enoch and Hashu, and how you gave them the opportunity, and also how you embraced the idea. Yeah. But what did you think? Like, what was your first impression? Yeah. Because I think most of the people would say, this is so crazy. Yeah. Are you telling me coastlines and all these other across all these African countries, right? And you are exposing yourself to different climate realities. Yeah. I mean, they're going to get to Namibia soon, and we know what that is like. Yeah. What was your first impression? Okay. Of course, you'd be like, okay, this is good, but what was your first impression?
So I was impressed. Mm-hmm. And I was challenged. Yes, I was. Like, there are people who care for the climate this much, that they would put aside their jobs, put aside their lives for a couple of months to stand for something they believe in, and to do it for the entire planet, not just for them. So it was a huge challenge for me. I was also inspired that these are really young people in their early 20s who could think beyond themselves. So I think I really believe in them, and I believe in the impact that they're going to have. And I trust that this is going to inspire more and more people beyond just me. I also think that everyone deserves a chance to give it a shot. And the hardest thing is just starting. But these guys are here, and they've started 4 times and failed. And they're still willing to go again, regardless of, they don't have jobs, but they still see a story to be told. They still believe in themselves enough to give it a fifth time. So everyone deserves a chance, and their past doesn't dictate who they are. Their failures don't matter.
True.
Yeah, it's all about, giving it your shot, giving it your best. And at the end of the day, all stories just start with, starting, all great stories.
Starting. Yes, they're going to be documenting real climate stories, meeting, organizing climate cafes, getting to hear from the community itself and make a statement. What do you really hope the world sees beyond just a ride?
Wow. So the ride is a means to an end. The entire reason for this journey is the stories. So these guys, every 100 or so kilometers, they're going to be stopping in a town and doing a climate cafe where they invite climate activists from that area.
Yeah.
And they talk about climate issues that affect that community. They're then going to document, that is, do a video documentary about what solutions people have come up with in those towns. So we're going to have nearly 50 different stories, actually even more, from so many towns across Africa and even Brazil. And the whole point of this is to show that there's people who care. And a lot of times, the Global South is, our voice is not heard as loud as we would like it to be.
Yeah.
And sometimes it stems from the lack of finance.
True.
So we want to show that people are making a difference in their communities, however they can. And these solutions can be replicated all over the world. And these stories, we want to give a voice to the unheard. We want to spotlight them. And Enoch and Hashu and Feli and the Ebikes team, we are all just, what can I call it, conduits. We're just enablers for those people, but they are the real stars of the show.
Yes. They are the stars of the show.
Yeah.
Of course, writing from, that is such a bold thing. There was a documentary of one Indian who, it's a document titled Freedom, the Freedom Seat. He rode 8,000 kilometers on a tandem bike from India to Germany. And he was creating awareness on, slavery to the modern slavery. Yeah. When I say the modern slavery, I mean people still being slaved in these times, not necessarily that. But it's true. We are seeing these change, and it had a great impact. He fundraised about $15,000, and he channeled it into NGOs that went and found these people, set them free. Now they're doing great works in the community. Yeah. So definitely, you can only imagine the story that will come after this. Yeah. But again, it comes to the policies that we'll make. Yeah. What they can do, they can't change the policies, but they can influence them. Yeah. Right. That's why they're carrying the stories. Yeah. Now, coming to that part, right? You have contributed to major national policy frameworks, and maybe you could tell me how, coming back from the perspective of e-bikes and then growing on a broader scale, how important is policy alignment and scaling innovations? For example, e-bikes and then the innovations from all these other different African countries, that existing solutions that are found by the riders themselves.
So, a great question.
Yeah.
As a society, we depend on policy to dictate how we live. And policy is an agreement by all the members of society that this is how we are going to conduct ourselves in regards to a specific topic. Yeah. So I took part in writing the Unclaimed Financial Assets Act regulations, that if you die without a will, where does your money go to? I also took part in drafting the Urban Areas and Cities Act regulations that helped Nakuru to become a city. And right now, I'm not taking an active part in these policies, but have a keen eye on them. The electric mobility policies that are coming up in Kenya. So policies provide an enabling environment.
Mm-hmm.
Policies provide an enabling environment, and they're extremely important. And this right to cop, Kenya, when it comes to electric mobility, is a leader in Africa. We're doing an amazing job. We have, I think, the highest density of electric vehicles, and we have a lot of support from our government.
Yeah.
And we have other countries also now picking up, like Ethiopia, Ghana, South Africa, and many more.
Yeah.
So this ride is also to take the Kenyan story, the Kenyan successes, to these 7 other African countries. And it's also to inspire those people. So we're going through Tanzania, Malawi, Zambia, Botswana, Namibia. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yes, we're going through the southern route, all the way to Namibia, Angola. And during these journeys, we're also going to engage with stakeholders in those individual countries.
Sure.
And give them our story and show them what works here, and maybe they can pick it up on their end. Also, when we get to COP30, the team will be in both the blue zone and the green zone, so the public area and the government area. And we'll be showcasing our documentary in both zones. And the point of this is also, again, to influence policy and to influence it positively, and to show that more enabling policies could help grow these solutions that we have interacted with on our trip, and also to promote cycling, to promote electric mobility. So we're extremely grateful also to the Kenyan government, the Ministry of Environment, for giving us the platform, and for giving us a chance to also amplify these voices from other African countries. Yeah.
Wow. You shaped it very well. And we're definitely looking forward to that documentary, because it's everything, right? Even though they're going to be providing small updates about their journey here and there, that is everything, right? And I've heard a lot of people reaching out, and they really want to be part of this, because this is the boldest and inspiring journey yet. And it's kind of historical, right? It is. And maybe, again, on the policy, what is that one policy or system shift that would unlock massive potential, right, for climate tech in Kenya or Africa? That one policy or system shift.
So I think active promotion of electric mobility by governments through tax subsidies and also public education would play a big role. So the promotion of EVs over internal combustion engine vehicles would be a big game changer. We have countries like Ethiopia, where right now you can't import a petrol car.
Wow.
Yeah, it's illegal. So
that's a great move.
Exactly. So yeah, it's all about the government understanding the impact this will have in creating jobs and in improving society and reducing emissions, and educating the public on the importance of these changes. So if there's anyone from any government in Africa listening, please work with us to educate the public and bring down the cost of EVs. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Now, I mentioned something earlier about the vision, and I wanted to come to that just, at the end, towards the end of the conversation. You had an amazing story, and the way this solution is rooted in, the community, like the local problems, right? The story of the fisherman, right? So maybe you could tell us, for young African, innovators like yourself, right? Watching the Cycle to COP30 movement, what's your advice for building something meaningful and sustainable?
Wow.
Because some other guy had this idea, has an idea just as powerful as yours, but just don't know when to take the initiative.
So, a painful truth, ideas are cheap. Yeah. Ideas are free. And I personally believe that if you get an idea, then God or the universe, whatever you'd like to call it, gives that same idea to another 10,000 people. And the idea is going to happen with or without you. And a lot of times we become a little egotistic and we think that we are special because you got the idea. But a lot of times also these ideas, you find out that someone else has the same idea and all of a sudden you hear people talking about, they stole my idea. So ideas mean nothing until they're done. And it's your responsibility as the person with the idea to take it as far as you possibly can. I would like to advise anyone listening to me who has an amazing idea, please start. Start and fail again. I tell the team at Ebikes Africa that we're on a race to 100. I want you to fail till you get to 100. So we don't have a conversation. This is not a serious conversation if you're not at 100 yet. Have you failed 99 times? Great. You have one more go. And if you don't get it right at 100, then it's another race to 100. So failing is part of life. And every time you fail, it brings you closer to success. And you learn. It's not even really a failure. It's a lesson. So please start. Start however you can. Start scared. Start small. Start broke. Start angry. Start sad. The most important thing is you start. Yeah.
Wow. This has been the prevalent message.
Yeah.
Throughout this whole podcast, I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
Right. I've asked this question to all from the writers and also the core team, who have recorded with so far. What's that one thing they would tell the other person who's watching from home, and they would say, just start.
Yeah.
Right. And one great thing is that no one will believe in you if you don't believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Right. That's really powerful. You've heard that. And what's your long-term dream for Ebikes Africa, and how do you imagine it transforming the future of mobility and livelihoods? Right. We've already seen a glimpse of that. And maybe what's your long-term dream now?
So my goal with e-bikes is to be able to empower people to have the dignity of choice.
The dignity of choice.
Yeah. To choose their education, to choose their work and their healthcare, because they can go there whenever they want to. So I use the word empower because that word means that people's power has been taken away from them. And a lot of people here don't know that they lack a certain power. So it's a very sad society we live in, where, again, people are stuck in cycles of poverty and they just don't know it. And a lot of people, since they were born into it, think that this is what life is meant to be. So everyone deserves to be able to move. And I think in this world, we should all move sustainably. So my long-term vision is to give as many people on this continent, on this planet, the dignity of choice, and also to give them access to more and more opportunities. I see an Africa where electric bikes are the primary mode of transport. Hopefully they will be ours.
Amazing.
And I see an Africa where children can be able to go to school and people can live fuller lives and move as far and wherever they want to go. Yeah, whenever they want to go as well. And affordably. Yeah.
Affordably.
Yeah.
Affordably. These are gems, right? And it's beautiful. Now, if you could speak directly to one of the delegates at COP30, what's the one thing you'd ask them to commit to?
Wow. So I'll look in the camera for this.
Yeah, definitely. Talk to them. Yeah.
Hello, delegate from COP30. Thank you for giving me this chance. Thank you for listening to me and giving me your time. I want to share a belief with you, and all I want to ask from you is for you to listen. In Africa, there are so many young people. We are the youngest continent in the world, and we care for the world as much as you do. We might care for it even a little bit more than you think. And there are tons of solutions that are working here. There are so many youth who are diligently caring for the climate. And I'd like to ask you to please give them a chance, give them a voice, and hear them out. If you can make a difference, then please play a part. Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. That was amazing. And thank you very much for joining us today. This has been Life as a Young Activist. I've been your host, Bay, and our guest today was Jorgs Mbugua, the CEO of Ebikes Africa. We've heard amazing things, and you can also be part of this ride by supporting this Cycle for Hope campaign at #Cycle for Hope on all social media platforms. Join us and also be on the know to know where the riders will be stopping, so you could tag along for a few kilometers, because activism starts, and it doesn't have to be that you go all the way with them. It's just you showing solidarity in their journey. This is the future of Africa, and they're pedaling for justice to COP30. Thank you very much for joining us, and see you in the next episode.
Thank you for having me, Bay. Thank you for hearing us out. If you can subscribe, hit the notification bell, and support the team from COP30. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much for joining us.